I don't want to hold anybody up from having a good time.
Mike, also to Dallas. There was so much talk a couple weeks ago about Cincinnati's offense, and can you just talk about the challenge of Tampa Bay's offense, which I would say is more balanced and just as explosive?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, balance is the first thing you jumps off the stat sheet, but then you get into it, and boy, both the young running backs are dynamic. Really good offensive line. Baker's playing at a high level, so in the perimeter, obviously Mike Evans has been doing it for a long time. So this is a huge challenge for our defense. Absolutely.
Mike Todd for the ESPN. When you go to this winter schedule, what's the challenge for the young guys that have probably not been through something like this before?
The challenge, obviously it's less time, more time built in for the rest recovery, but we still have the young player meetings. So I don't feel like they're really, they're still getting the extra attention, that they all need, especially in those first couple of years. So, but yeah, it's really just giving them, a longer Tuesday night, Wednesday morning is really the gain. So they gain an hour or two there Wednesday morning, but really other than that, the time frame's the same.
With Brock, a lot of the talk is about his nastiness and his finish and all that, but can you talk about his technical ability and where he is as a player beyond the playing through the echo of the whistle kind of stuff?
Yeah, but he's so much more than that. I think you got to really, take a look at the man, the way he approaches this profession. He's definitely one of the top glue guys, not only in offensive line, but on our football team. So great communicator, has a very, very high understanding of everything we're doing, probably would put near the top of the list of understanding of what the defense is doing, but his application is as good as I've been around. So most importantly, it's just like anything. Everybody knows the schemes, everybody understands, football, but to be able to apply it like that, to have that, he has it, and it's definitely shown since he's been in there.
Is that being a coach's kid in some respects, do you think?
Well, yeah, of course. If anything, he's taught to coaching it. No, definitely, he's wicked, coach smart, and just real credit to him in his upbringing. But no, he's really on top of it. It's impressive.
John Machota with The Athletic. As far as your knowledge with CeeDee's shoulder, is it one of those things where it can't get worse from him playing on it?
Oh, really, there's. I mean, for me to speak on specifics of medical, that's really not for me to talk on. But yeah, I mean, he has a shoulder injury. I'm not going to get into exactly what he has, but he's treating it every day. We're real smart with him today as far as what he did, on the field. But yeah, just to say it can't get worse, I don't know if you can really say that about any injury, in the game of football. So yeah, I would not make that statement. And
then with DeMarcus Lawrence, are you preparing to finish off the season without having him back? Or do you?
That's really medical. He was in there rehabbing today, so I saw him on a water treadmill. So I know he's going through the metabolics with the training staff. So he's still pushing the rehab process.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How concerned are you about the healthy offensive line now? Because you got Odogo on there and Bass was on the report today.
Yeah, I mean it's this time of year we've had some of it, but I really saw the list before I walked in here. Outside of Trayvon, which I think everybody has a chance to making it for Sunday night.
How aware of you we had talked about the running game and how slow of the start you had, and now Rico might have 1,000 yards. I think it's 130 yards away. How remarkable is that considering where you were in September?
Yeah, I think just like anything. I mean, there was a number of things that started slow for us, early. I think when you look at the run game and the protection, it was definitely something, in early, and especially the first month that was not, it's not what we did best. But that's why you play the whole year, and I think just like anything, I'm just glad that he's taken a rope and established himself as a one. Like to see him potentially, start playing more on third down. But it's been exciting to watch Rico have the success.
Nick Harris, Sports Star Telegram. I know you're a game-by-game type mindset when it comes to approach around the team, but one more slip-up officially puts you guys out of the playoff race. Is there more urgency going into Tampa Bay week, or is it just like any other week?
I think it's the same urgency we've had of late. I mean, we have to win. I mean, and we obviously need help. So I mean, really, I'll just stop it. We need to win, and that's all we're focused on. We're on the winter schedule, as Todd brought up, but we're just pouring everything into this week, and to make sure we take care of business Sunday night. That's really all that matters.
When would you say that urgency did flip?
Well, I think we'd always have urgency, but I think the reality of when you get to mid-December and the teams start to line up, and the reality of what you need to get into the tournament. So I think the whole league has a higher sense of urgency right now.
Joe.
Joe Boyd, All City, Dallas. Cavante Turner maybe 150 pounds, but he's kind of shown a willingness to go through contact. And
150?
Yeah. Okay. 152, technically. Yeah. Shown a willingness to go through contact and break tackles. Does that ability of his surprise you for a guy of his stature?
Yeah, he's very unique. We were talking about him today, just the way He's such a gifted athlete. I mean, he makes everything look easy. I mean, there's really nothing he can't do in the movement realm. So, but yeah, to play this game at that weight and just the way he finishes, runs, returns, I mean, I think Turp is special. But yeah, he's having a heck of a year. You try to be smart with him, but man, he just every time he gets an opportunity, he's either going to break it or just about to break it. So he's been exciting.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, how much of your defensive turnaround do you feel like can be attributed to just a higher comfort with Mike Zimmer's scheme, given these guys were doing something a little different for the last 3
Well, I mean,
years?
continuity, connection. I mean, that definitely leads into consistency, and the reality of it is that the fuel of that is the confidence. So, I think like anything, everybody starts the season with a high level, of expectation, but the true belief and confidence, comes from performance. So I think you definitely see us growing in that area, and I do think the consistency and the continuity has been a big part of that.
Babe Walker, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, Sam Darnold and Baker kind of parallel careers, came out in the same draft, and both started out of places that were kind of hard to win historically, and now both have kind of restarted their career. Have you ever had a quarterback like that, where kind of maybe washed out?
I think that's part of the normal evolution of a quarterback. I think you can go through the history of this league, and there's a lot of examples of guys that maybe had to play too early on a team that may not have been ready. I think one thing I learned about playing a rookie quarterback is the question I would ask today if that situation came about is the team ready? Is the team ready for him to play? And you can look at Peyton Manning's first year, you can look at Ben Roethlisberger's first year. I went through it with Alex Smith. So there's examples that go all the way back throughout football. And I had a unique conversations with Billy Joe Tolliver when he came out of Tech and played probably a little before he thought he was ready. So I think that's gone on forever. But I think the fact of quarterbacks come out today and they're a top 5 pick, they're playing sooner probably than later. Where I think in the 90s you may have had a little more patience, or maybe not too. So I think every situation is unique. But in my opinion, I think that's gone on forever. As long as I've been in the league.
Yeah.
Is there more clarity on TJ Bass, or is it still too early?
Too early, but he has a chance. What was that code? Ed?
Ed Werder, WFAA. Could you speak to what you've seen from Lawson in the most recent games and what you think he's capable of?
Carl Lawson? I think Carl's path here, obviously a veteran, been productive, has some familiarity, particularly with Paul Gunther, power player. I think he just needed to get into game shape, in training camp. But boy, he's given us quality snaps. I mean, you look at obviously the production and the sack numbers, but a power player, cagey player, and he's been an excellent addition for us. So just an everyday blue collar type guy. So he's been a great fit for us.
Overshawn, did you have a surgery today, and how did that go?
My understanding is everything went well. We're looking forward to him to get back on the rehab trail, and if anybody can do a great job, he will. I mean, I thought he did a fantastic job getting ready for this year. So he'll attack it, and I think just like anything, that's why you don't make diagnosis 48 hours after an injury. He'll do well with the surgery. I'm confident in that.
Any idea when Diggs will have his surgery?
I do not. I do not.
Good. All right.
Thank you.
Go Cowboys!
Hey there, Cowboys fan. Let me ask you something. Do you think a single game can define a season? Or better yet, can it decide the future of a coach? This week's showdown against the Buccaneers feels like it could do just that. The stakes couldn't be higher for the Cowboys and their defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. Think about it, this isn't just another game. Facing Baker Mayfield and a Bucs offense that's been on fire is no small task. They've been racking up points and dominating defenses. And now it's our turn to stop them. Zimmer has done well this season, but the spotlight is brighter than ever. This game might be his final audition to prove he's the right man for the job. What do you think? Will this game seal Zimmer's future with the Cowboys? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's kick things off. Now, let's talk about the challenge at hand. This Buccaneers offense is no joke. Led by Baker Mayfield and fueled by the brilliance of their offensive coordinator, Liam Cohn, the Bucs have become one of the most dynamic teams in the league. They just put up 40 points on the Chargers and over 500 yards of offense. Yeah, you heard that right, 500 yards, the secret sauce, Cohen's creativity. He's cooking up plays that attack every possible weakness a defense has. Whether it's running the ball or airing it out, the Bucs have something for everything. Their offensive line is solid, their running backs are versatile, and their passing game is lethal with Mike Evans catching bombs. But here's the kicker, Zimmer's defense has been inconsistent against the run, and that could be the Bucs' golden ticket. If we can't stop the run, Mayfield will have all day to throw, and you know what that means, trouble. What do you think? Do the Cowboys have what it takes to shut down this offense? Who's the key player you think will make the biggest impact? Let me know in the comments or vote on the poll. Can the Cowboys defense contain the Bucs run game, yes or no? This game isn't just another Sunday night football matchup, it's a defining moment for Mike Zimmer. Sure, we've seen flashes of brilliance from his defense this season, but consistency has been a problem. And against a top 5 offense like Tampa Bay's, there's no room for error. Zimmer has been praised for dialing up strong game plans against teams like the Bengals and Commanders. But let's be honest, this is a different beast. If he wants to prove he's the right guy to stick around for 2024, this is the game. To do it, the key is going to be preparation. The Bucs' offense thrives on unpredictability. They use motion, misdirection, and unconventional blocking schemes to keep defenses guessing. Zimmer will need to have his guys ready to counter those plays, especially the linebackers, who will be tasked with reading and reacting in real time. So here's a question for you. If Zimmer's defense struggles against the Bucs, should the Cowboys move on from him after this season, or does he deserve another chance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let's see where everyone stands on this. When facing a dynamic offense like the Buccaneers, it's not just about having a solid game plan, it's about making adjustments in real time. This is where Mike Zimmer's experience and instincts will be truly tested. The Bucs excel at adapting to what defenses throw at them. If you stack the box, they'll hit you with a play-action bomb to Mike Evans. If you drop into coverage, their running backs will carve you up with creative runs. Zimmer and his staff need to anticipate these counterpunches and respond with their own adjustments on the fly. Think about it. How many times have we seen the Cowboys' defense struggle early in a game, only to come out of halftime looking like a completely different unit? That's the kind of response we'll need to see this Sunday night. But here's the catch, against a team as hot as Tampa Bay, you might not get the luxury of a slow start. Let me ask you, do you trust Zimmer to make the right adjustments when it matters most? Or do you think the Cowboys' defense is in for a long night? Drop your vote in the comments and let's see where you stand. This is it. Sunday Night Football against the Buccaneers isn't just another game. It's a defining moment for Mike Zimmer and, arguably, the entire Cowboys defense. The stakes couldn't be higher. Zimmer isn't just defending against Baker Mayfield and a high-powered offense, he's defending his position as defensive coordinator. Let's be real, the spotlight is on Zimmer to deliver a statement game. The Cowboys front office will be watching closely, evaluating every decision, every adjustment, and every result. Can Zimmer dial up the right blitz at the perfect moment? Can he position the secondary to limit those big plays? And most importantly, can he inspire this defense to rise to the occasion? As fans, we all know the Cowboys season hinges on consistency. If the defense can step up and dominate a top-tier offense like Tampa Bay's, it sends a message not just to Jerry Jones, but to the entire league that this Cowboys team is ready to compete at the highest level. But if they falter, well, let's just say questions about Zimmer's future will only grow louder. So here's the big question for you. Do you believe Zimmer is the right man to lead this defense into the playoffs and beyond? Or do you think it's time for a change after this season? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you think. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth Cowboys analysis. We've got a lot to talk about as this season unfolds. Let's see what Sunday brings.